This has been consistently voted in the last 20 years as the most livable place in the world, and it's because of places like this. It's because of the mountains, it's because of the water, it's because people get something when they come to the water, they get something when they're up in the mountains, and I know they will want to protect it too, because it doesn't service Canadians. It doesn't service jobs, or it doesn't help our economy. It's to service a greedy 1%.
A boon for Indigenous rights, and a bust for Kinder Morgan, the Texas-based oil giant that had hoped to build the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion. It would have tripled the flow of oil from Edmonton in Alberta to ports on Canada's Pacific coast. But it also would have crossed through territory claimed by First Nations, Canada's Indigenous peoples. Now it's at a standstill. The $4.5 billion project was hampered from its outset in 2012 by regulatory burdens. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau added to the list with more than 150 extra conditions when the pipeline was given the green light in 2016. Just a year after he came to power with an agenda that champions environmental stewardship.
Canadians expect their government to be responsible around climate change.
He approved the pipeline expansion to overcome opposition to his carbon tax plan, designed to cut greenhouse gas emissions. Now, Trudeau's government is buying the pipeline project from Kinder Morgan in an effort to keep it alive. Ottawa can ill afford to alienate resource-rich provinces like Alberta, which want the deal to go through. Trudeau's government hasn't decided whether it will appeal a federal court's insistence that Indigenous groups be consulted again before the project can go forward.
We will analyze this decision. It's a 275-page decision, and we will respond promptly. That's what the court has asked us to do, and we will do that, but we've not yet gotten to conclusions on the exact response.
6 First Nations lodged complaints they hadn't been sufficiently consulted. The pipeline will cross lands they lay claim to, and they have concerns about its environmental impact. The court's decision is in line with the UN's Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. It says First Nations should be afforded the right to veto any proposed activity on their traditional lands. Trudeau's government is somewhat ironically trying to enshrine the UN Declaration in Canadian law, but at the same time trying to save a project that would provide thousands of jobs to Canada's already ailing energy sector. It's a balancing act in which Trudeau's political future, along with the autonomy of Indigenous peoples, may be at stake. Randolph Nogel, The Newsmakers.